So the reason that we're out here at all is all thanks to the fact that ESHA and I met outside the Authors' Yurt at the Edinburgh International Book Festival in August 2016.
Courtesy Dom Hastings, I should mention.
Yes, thanks to Dom Hastings. So you're on the Momentum programme, which should be funded by British Council and Creative Scotland. And I told you about the Bloody Scotland Crime Writing Festival, which happens in Scotland, in Stirling, in September each year. And we cooked up this project to bring Scottish crime writers to the Calcutta Literature Festival, which is at the world's biggest book fair in the world, 2.5 million people in 10 or 11 days. 12 days. So last year, in 2017, Lynn Anderson and Doug Johnston and I came across and were quite overwhelmed by what we found here and the reception that we had and the interest that we had in Scottish crime writing. But we noticed, how could we help but notice, that the price of books, of exported British books, was so high. And therefore, when we went round the book fair, the Scottish authors that people were picking up because they were affordable were Robert Louis Stevenson, Arthur Conan Doyle, Walter Scott. And we started talking about whether we could develop the project further to allow Scottish crime writers to be published here at Indian prices.
Just to increase more awareness of contemporary Scottish crime writing. So I think that's where the entire project idea started. That we thought that we'll just do books at a cheaper price for the Indian market, but then while we were developing, then we also thought that it's going to be great that if we could get these authors whose books we were doing to Calcutta for the Kolkata Literature Festival inside the book fair, that would also kind of build more personal relations with the contemporary Bengali authors, also all the other authors who come down to the literature festival. And also that we thought of another online platform. It's called the Digital Writers Lab, and it's for everyone to participate. We shouldn't restrict only to the authors who we've been able to who've managed to come down to Kolkata because of restriction of funds. We can't get 10 or 15 people delegation. So I think that's also developing really well. A lot of people have contributed, and the concept is really nice. It's very similar. We're trying to give the same topic to one Scottish author and one Bengali author, and they write individually and then we publish it together, so the reader gets two perspectives which might be different or similar. Also, I think we were discussing something in the morning, and we think it's going to be a great project next in line, I think.
We were talking about whether we could bring together not just the authors on the website, but also in a volume, an anthology of crime writing, to bring together 6 Bengali crime writers with 6 Scottish crime writers. And you were suggesting that not only this would be in English, but
a bilingual one. Because if the Bengali authors are writing in Bengali, I think then we can have the other 6 translated from English to Bangla, and the Bengali is translated from Bangla to English. So we can have 2 books. And I think it's going to do tremendously well in Bangla, especially because in recent times international literature is rarely being translated into Bangla, although there's a hunger for it. At one point of time there was a lot of Russian literature that was being translated, but it stopped. So
and there's a huge readership as well.
A huge readership, yes. In vernacular this side of the country there is. So we hope that we can keep continuing what we started off.
And I think that's really exciting and quite unusual these days, that a project, rather than just happening once or even twice, that we can really develop and use what we've learned over the last few years and really develop. It's something very exciting, yeah. And of course we want more authors from Bengal to come to Bloody Scotland. We had Manabi Mitra came to represent Calcutta at last year's festival, so it would be fantastic.
With Abir and Lynn in the panel. That was a fantastic panel as well.
So we have got quite ambitious hopes.
Ambitious, yes. I think it was quite ambitious even 2 years back when I met you. I mean, I did not really think that it's possibly we come here at Shantiniketan and speak.
Anything's possible with ESHA Chatterjee. Anything.
Jai Hind Ram.